Here.
Coffee.
Here.
Con. Here. Vaughn. Hostetter.
Here.
Holt.
Aye.
Thank you. May we have a motion to excuse Karen and Bob from tonight's meeting?
I so moved.
I'll second.
Coffee.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Con.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Hostetter.
Aye.
Holt.
Aye.
Thank you. Good evening. I understand we have a few visitors who wish to address council this evening. All we ask is you please state your name for the record. We are videoing and recording this meeting.
Okay,
Go first.
I'm Eric Strauss. I'm a candidate for Holmes County Commissioner for the May primary, which will be May 3rd. I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of bio about myself. I recently retired from commercial bank in May, so I'm a retired banker. So I've been thinking about this for well before I retired, like a year, that once I retired, I was going to run for commissioner. So my occupation at commercial bank, I was a business lender for 17 years. So had agriculture, Amish farmers, business guys. I did that for 17 years. And prior to that, I worked at Kilbuck Savings Bank in Kilbuck as a branch manager for 16 years. And you know what branch managers do, they do home loans, they help everybody. And then prior to that, a lot of people don't remember, I worked for Farm Credit for 8 years. It was back in the day, Federal Land, some people can remember this, it was Federal Land Bank Production Credit. In '87, they merged to Farm Credit. So I was mainly in Mount Vernon and Ashland. And then I graduated from High State University. I have an ag degree in ag econ, ag education. I'm lifelong farm. We lived on a farm 2 miles west of here. My son and I, we have a hog operation. So we sell show pigs to the 4-Hers. We do that. So I'm kind of in tune with the farming end of it. I've been on the West Holmes School Board for 20 years. I've been on the Habitat Board for 25. I help out there with the swine committee. And I just feel that, with my banking experience and just being in Holmes County and seeing what Holmes County is, I think I would be a good candidate for commissioner. So that's all I wanted to say. And I was just going to ask, would I be allowed to give you each a business card or not? Is it okay? I have to apologize to Nate. I didn't bring, I didn't know there were so many people that. Yeah, thanks for letting me.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Renee Woods. I'm principal at Millersburg Elementary, and Mr. Jerkovic, our superintendent, is also here tonight. I'm here because I just had some questions about the one-way school zone, the one-way street on School Street during school hours. Recently, Millersburg PD has been stopping people that are going left of center in the afternoons to go around the pickup line that's coming into the school to pick up our students, which I appreciate very much because I feel like I've been scared to death. Those cars going left of that line of vehicles would hit a student that was walking through our crosswalk up there closer to 241. So I'm very glad of that. However, in the process, a couple of parents have brought to my attention and I didn't have a good answer for them. So I guess I wanted to come and get some history, and I thought maybe Tom would know, and I called Matt, and he suggested that this might be the place to come and discuss it and ask some questions and have some discussion about it. As to why it is a one-way, because I probably should know this when people ask me and I don't know the answer, why it's a one-way street coming down School Street in the morning and the afternoon during, I think it's like, I don't know, what is that map, from 9 to
9:30 to
8:30 to 9:30, I think it is, and 2:30 to 3:30, or 3 to 4, or something like that. So, Tom, is there a history to that?
Yeah, it was done for school buses coming, primarily turning up and going up from the east. They can't make the turn if there's cars sitting there, and they would back up, 3 or 4 trying to turn east. So it was put in place because you could still come down and turn and still get out to Jackson Street by going down the alley.
Right, they go down those
That's why it was
alleys.
done at the request of the school. That's been 30 years ago.
Okay.
That was put in
And that was one of my questions, if that was done, if that's still that way just because it's always been that way, I don't know that that's conducive to what we do now, and how we operate. We have 5 buses that come to Millersburg to pick up kids and to drop off in the mornings, and they all enter from 241, so they all enter at the top of School Street to come down around the school parking lot, and they exit in the front of the school onto directly onto 39. So they're not coming down School Street at all anymore, so
Turning up, not coming down, turning up. Turning north off of Jackson Street was the issue.
But
And I
since
think
they're not doing that anymore,
I
is
think,
that what
I
you're-
think most of them, I called our bus coordinator, and I think most of them are going up 241 and coming in that top entrance. I don't know that they're turning up that way.
I know you have one, cause he always yells at me, because people are sitting there, he needs to turn, so.
Okay. And maybe, you know, if that's the way it is, that's fine. I just wanted to have an answer for this, for some parents that were questioning me. The other issue that was brought up was that because those cars are turning, when they come out of my pickup line, they circle around the school or around the parking lot and they pull out onto School Street. If they wanna go down to 39, they go left and then they go down that alley I think it's called Liberty Street behind the Habitat houses. And then they're coming out down one of the other alleys down by the church. And the question was, is that the safest place for them to exit when there's kids walking downtown, when there's a crossing guard at the bottom of School Street, but there's not a crossing guard on down that street for those cars to enter back onto 39. So I don't know if doing away with that one-way traffic during those hours would create any problems. In asking our bus coordinator, she didn't foresee any, and I don't foresee any. I think I somewhat agree with the parent who thinks that having that traffic where there's a crossing guard might actually be a little bit safer, rather than on down one of the alleys. I also have a couple little ones who I think eventually are gonna be walking through those alleys. I have a couple of preschool kids who live back that Liberty Street, so for them to walk home down that alley when there's cars exiting that alley, I'm afraid might be a little bit dangerous. But again, I'm in support of whatever the decision is. I just guess I wanted to bring it for discussion and consideration that, that being a one-way, I don't believe is anything that we feel necessary for the school or our buses at this point.
As far as I know, it's put in place for the school, so if they don't want it, then.
Into your concern, you thought was the fact the bus coming in from the east turning right. I mean, I guess if you could say that all buses are gonna go up 241 and come in that upper driveway, then that would take care of that issue.
Yeah, cause it will back up on,
Right.
anybody turning down there, will back up there, backs up in the alley now, so.
Yeah, our pickup line is quite a problem. And I worked with Nate and Matt on some solutions and you get it going a little bit better and then it seems to every year become bigger and bigger and bigger and.
If they wanna try it, if they don't want it, I mean, we could initially maybe just cover the signs.
I was gonna suggest we just cover them for now.
And see how it goes.
30 days.
I mean, I could be opening a can of worms and be like, oh my heavens, what was I thinking?
That's something we can adjust that day, rip the
Right.
covers off and go back to, that wouldn't take much. I assume you'd have some presence maybe to just kind of monitor things during the transition.
Their presence is very much appreciated up there because people get irritated when a line is out there and it makes it really dangerous at times and I know the line's not fun, right Nate, but
No.
it goes quickly. It goes quickly, I think, once 3:30 comes and we get started, we get it moving and they're gone in 10 minutes, so.
But it starts at like 2.
Yeah, but people start lining up at 2:30.
Pickups when?
3:30.
And is that something that we monitor throughout the school morning and afternoon?
In the afternoons, we do more so than in the mornings.
Is that something you could report back to us if
You need
it's
to
working or
take a
it's
look at
helping?
whether or not it's working. Yeah, I'm out there every afternoon.
So if you cover up the signs and then Renee came back and said, yeah, that's what we need to do, or we can take a look at it, is that seem what makes sense?
Like, if it's working, we just take them down.
Just take it down.
I just pick one of the neighbor Matt and let them know.
Matt, you know, if Matt or anyone else notices, or Nate, you guys notice any problems, let me know, because I may or may not be aware of it. I can tell from up at our end, from the school entrance, how it's going.
And so to go along with that, you would tell all the bus drivers to make sure that they are entering from 241 then?
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, that would be a
I
problem.
think most of them do anyway, so I can make sure they all do, so they're consistent.
We'll try it and see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Any other visitors? We have motion to suspend the reading of the minutes.
So moved.
Mullin. Vaughn.
Aye.
Con. Coffee.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Any additions or corrections? We have motion passed.
So moved.
Second.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Coffee.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Con. Hostetter.
Aye.
Mullin.
Thank you. Bill resolution 2022-04. Any questions on the bills this evening?
Is there a story with the ER visit for Connor Bailey?
That was from earlier this year during a call.
Okay.
He had to go.
He's okay?
Yeah, it was for him to be checked out. It was not an injury. It was for a checkout.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? We have motion to pay the bills.
So moved. Second.
Hostetter.
Aye.
Con.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Coffee.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Mullin.
Thank you. Chief?
I have a letter of resignation from Ashley Phillips. So I asked council to accept to be effective February 25th of this year.
That was how long?
It'll be 2 weeks. She gave it to me on Friday.
Her length of employment?
She started in October.
Okay.
She give a reason of any kind, or?
She's gotten a job at the sheriff's office.
So,
I'll second that.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Coffee.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Con.
Aye.
Hostetter.
Aye.
Mullin.
The only other thing I have for executive session.
Thank you. Nate?
All right, we didn't have anything in February for design review or P and Z, but we will have sign review for Troyer Sweet Shop that's moving into the American Hall building. And then we received the plans for the Stenwood development, sent them back to the engineer for revisions. I anticipate in talking to them that they'll be ready to go for the March meeting, but I've not received them back yet, so that's not 100% set in stone. Resurfacing, they're working on the plans for that. They're working on scheduling the time for the street department to direct traffic. As part of the project, I'm gonna have them adjust the manholes on South Washington Street, and there's one on Maslin Road. Have them brought up to grade properly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's
They're terrible.
5 of them, I think, total.
That's
4
great.
of them. They need some traffic control to check them out and see what all needs done before they can start the design work, but get that done. And then they're also working on putting a proposal together for the water line on Worcester Road and the North Grand storm sewer. Keep those moving. Community surveys out. It's on our Facebook page. We can get paper copies to anybody that wants one. I prefer doing it that way.
That's a lengthy survey.
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
There's it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth there. So yeah, just obviously, if you haven't done it, please do. If you have, thank you. Tell your friends, tell everybody you think of to do it. Working with Arnie on the demolition money for intersection with all the different wires that are coming into it, directions. So it's a little bit more complicated than just moving a pole one way or another. You know, there's things going east, west, and north, south, so it's gonna be a little bit more to tie it back in. Since with our right of way agreement with them, they do that work for us at no charge. But because of the scale of the job, they wanna make sure we're gonna actually proceed with our portion of the work before they commit to doing it. Once the pole's moved, we have some guardrail to remove and pave the area, maybe a little bit of light grading just to get everything back to good grade striping, and that's really all we'll have in it. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't do it, but I wanted a commitment from you guys before we give AEP that. Go
They're
ahead.
gonna come up with a design of what they're expecting it to look like, or what they're suggesting it.
Yeah, I asked him, you know, do you want like actual plans, because we're not changing anything, we're just pulling out the guardrail and pole and striping it, and he seemed okay with that.
But they're gonna have to put poles there at the intersection somewhere, or where would they?
Around the intersection.
Around, on the outside?
Not in the intersection,
Okay.
yeah. The properties, you know, east, west,
Okay.
east and west, north, south of it there'll be new poles put in, but not in the roadway.
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice for them to pursue that,
Good.
that's my.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll plan on proceeding.
You know, in regards to East John Street, I know that part of it's in the village, part of it isn't. But have you could talk to AP at all about possibly running street lighting out to Meadowwood, but like we did out west here. That made a big difference.
That would be
Out to
nice.
Belleville. I'm just wondering if it's something we would wanna talk to them about and see if they would do it, considering part of that's not in the village. I don't know if that plays into that or not. But it would be nice to have that lighted out to Meadowwood.
I had a request from, a county resident, not a village resident, but he drives County Road 58 and he had a near miss with somebody walking from the apartments on, that was another stretch.
Well, that wouldn't be bad either, because everything on the north side is in the village.
Yeah, there's poles on the south side already. See if they look at both of them on a trip.
I think it would be worthwhile.
Nate, is there even a possibility with the way the land lays to consider sidewalk out to those apartments?
I've looked and looked at that, it would be a tough one. I
Okay,
mean, yeah, there's always a way to do it, but that's gonna be a big project
okay.
to get usable sidewalks in there, but it would be needed,
Mhm.
it's definitely.
It probably look best on the south side, wouldn't it, which is.
It probably would, yeah. You got the ditch and the bank on the north side of the road.
And the south side isn't ours, is it? Yeah.
Not portions of it, but then you're out,
Mhm.
but I don't wanna pin them in a corner, but I bet the county would work with us on that, and I don't think they'd be opposed to it. As you see on the agenda, we've got the legislation for proposed CRA agreement. Is there any questions on that? In a nutshell, B&L Transport is looking to build their new facility here in town, moving from out by Winesburg where they're currently at. About a 19,000 square foot facility, bringing 100 employees into town and committing to adding 28 new full-time jobs.
I thought they were building a facility up by Maslin or something.
Warehousing, that's Walmart, or,
Mass is looking at moving up around Mass area.
well, B&L's building warehousing somewhere. The county just did a enterprise zone agreement with them. Winesburg or Walnut, it's Walnut that way. But this is their main, it'll be the main office, maintenance facility for the trucks and the driver lounge. It's a nice, very nice addition to the village, nice pickup, 28 jobs. Doesn't happen every day. Looking forward to that. Just wanna let you know, working on the have something here to you before too long.
Nate, what kind of lead time are we looking at for a new dump
I
truck?
don't know, I'll tell you after, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're meeting with one, so. Hopefully it's better than the ambulance lead times. And then, I do have an item for executive session under personnel as well, but just wanted to thank all the staff, the utility and street department the last few weeks have been taxed pretty hard with water main breaks and snow, ice. They've had a rough couple of weeks and they've really done a nice job.
I second that, Nate. Yeah,
It's greatly appreciated. It seems like this last big snow we had, we got a lot of nice comments from people that drove, outside the area that really appreciate what the village looked like compared to some other areas.
Yeah, that's all you have to do is drive somewhere else and you come back home and you're like, yep, they're doing a great job here. Yeah.
So you see those guys, thank them and tell them to get some rest.
Yeah.
More coming probably.
Don't say that.
That's all I have. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
I believe everyone's signed the financial acknowledgement. Anyone have any questions? So we'll move on to legislation. Second reading of resolution 2023-03 by title only. A resolution granting consent to the Ohio Department of Transportation, Director of Transportation, to complete a culvert rehabilitation project partially within the village of Millersburg. Any questions? First reading resolution 2022-05 by title only. A resolution to approve the application agreement for CRA tax incentive regarding PHW Holding Company LLC and B&L Transport Incorporated, authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement on behalf of the village. Is there any questions? Committee reports. Old business.
Did anybody speak, Nate, to the person on Alexander Street about the handicap parking place?
So I started checking on that and I'm getting mixed messages on whether it's needed or not. So I'm wanting to get some more feedback before.
What Mickey told me, who lives over there, that one time somebody parked there with a handicap sign and that's been it.
She was there last night. So,
Okay.
yeah, I wanna try to actually talk to her and see. But haven't had any luck catching her yet though.
Other old business. New business. If not, may we have a motion to go into executive session. Consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of public employee or official.
Second.
Bolin? Hofstadter?
Aye.